Hey guys, and welcome to the live stream. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to make $50,000 to $75,000 a year at a shop. If this is your first time watching, my name is Patrick, and if you're interested in window tinting as a side job so that you can improve your current skills or maybe as a full-time career, then start right now by subscribing to the channel. All right, to get started, I am going to go ahead and just review what we're going to be talking about today in the live stream. We're going to be going over what we need to do to make 50 to 75 grand a year at a shop. Maybe you're, what's up, what's up? Maybe you've been working and you've been learning how to tint and you've been training yourself and you're ready to take the next step, but maybe you're not ready for a shop of your own yet. So one good thing to do is that you can go ahead and and work at a shop, and that way it's going to teach you a lot about how to work at a shop, how a shop works, how to sell film, and it's going to give you a lot of exposure and a lot of how do I say it? A lot of time to be able to get to learn and know how to work and work efficiently in the shop, and that's something, a stepping stone before you get your own shop. So what's up, Edwin? How you doing? How you doing? All right, just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna go ahead and trying to pull the chat out here so I can monitor it that way. Sorry, I just got these lights in, and I feel like I need to get like a dimmer or something like that. I feel like it's like really, really bright right now. Okay, so that's not working. Quick update. I am working on getting these live streams a little bit better. As of right now, I'm just going live off my cell phone. I have a small shotgun mic and a little lens here, so it's doing the work just fine. But I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of other equipment together so that I can be running it through ABS and then be a little bit more professional, a little bit easier to follow. So what I'm going to do is, just so we can get the meat and potatoes of this video out for the rebroadcast, is that I'm going to go ahead and go through the video and how and what you need to do to get that job that you want and making some decent money. Afterwards, if we have some time, then we'll go ahead and go over some Q&A as well. Okay? I'm going to take 1 second here. I'm just going to share the feed here on my social media, and then that way I can get some people in here, some other people as well. And if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead and do that same thing as well. Here we go. Pop out chat. There we go. Now I'm working for you. All right. Edwin, what's up? And a bunch of other people. Got some guys from Hawaii. What's up? Thanks very much. Thanks for joining, guys. All right, good. Now I have the chat up on my screen, so then that way I can see it as it is going. Also, just to let you know, the Super Chat is enabled here as well. If you guys don't know what Super Chat is, it's basically you'll be able to donate funds if you wanted to. All proceeds help the channel obviously grow and get other equipment and other things so that I can continue to make videos like this. All right, how to get a job at a shop making $50,000 to $75,000. Spring Hill, what's up? So first, I'm going to go over what you need to do and what you need to have in line. I'm going to go over what to look for in a shop, and then I'm going to go over what to negotiate and how to negotiate and get what you want. So what you need as a person is that you need to be able to tint a vehicle, and I'd say like a 4-door sedan, and then you need to be able to tint that within 2 hours. That's pretty much the bare minimum. A little bit over 2 hours and you're not going to be beneficial to the owner of the shop. You got to understand, working for a shop, you're an investment. So they're going to be paying you money, and they need a return on their investment. So to be able to do that, I believe that you need at least a 2-hour turnaround on cars. Customer ready, that's the most important thing. Make sure it's customer ready, because that's no creases, no light gaps, no dust, no trash. I tell people 97%. You're never going to get a perfect job. And if there's a tinter out there that says they can do a perfect job, probably not, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. So, and I do see some questions coming up on here. And I'm going to go over that. We're going to go over the Q&A at the very end. So just so make sure to wait on for that. And I'll go over that just because, like I said, I want to make sure to get this out and about, just the meat and potatoes portion. And I can't find the links to share it on my social media, so I will just post it now. Here, hold on one second. All right, and where'd that chat go? Here we go, and we're back. Daniel, what's up? What's up, Daniel? How you doing? Okay, so what you need, continuing on, so you need to be able to do a 2-hour turnaround on a 4-door sedan. And it doesn't have to, like I said, 97%, that's all you need. You're not going to get a perfect job, but you want to get as close to perfect as you can. And again, working in a shop, you're going to get better and better and better. When to pull the trigger, like I said, whenever you're confident enough that you're ready to be customer ready and have a 2-hour turnaround time, I think that's going to be a good time frame. Let me think if there's anything else. For you, if you want to be successful in the industry, I'll give you a quick tip. Show up, do your work, and answer the phone when they call you. I mean, that's pretty much it. No drama. The industry itself is flooded with degenerates. I promise you. There's a lot of great tinters out there, but there's a lot of great tinters that have problems, personal problems. They can't show up to work. They're unreliable, not independent, not self-sustained, not self-sufficient. And if you think that I may or may not be right, go ask someone that owns a shop. Ask them how easy it is to find a tinter that's reliable and trustworthy. Very far and few between. So if you can do those things, you're already better than half the field out there. You don't even have to be a great tinter. As long as you show up, you answer the phone when they call you, you do your work when you're there, and you don't bring drama, that's it. I promise you, that's it. Oh yeah, and tint good. Tint well. You don't have to even tint very well. But you'll get better and better the more you go. What to look for in a shop. So you want to find a shop that you want to find a shop that's friendly. You want to find people that are friendly, because you're not in corporate America, so it's a little bit different. Like if you go to like a Tint World, maybe I shouldn't say Tint World, because I don't know. I never spoken with someone that works at Tint World, so I have no real clue, but I have my ideas, and I don't want to get in trouble with anyone. But a corporate or a franchise company, you're going to get pennies on the dollar. You're not really going to get paid very well, I don't think, personally. And most shops are privately owned, mom and pop type places. So you want to find a place that, the people are nice and they're friendly. And it's a professional atmosphere. When you walk through the door, it needs to feel right. It needs to be professional. They need to be friendly. Demonstrations, and samples of their film, a clean waiting area. These are things that are going to that come together that yield a high bottom line, and that's what you need, because you're going to be getting a portion of that. Okay, and don't be afraid of finding shops that say they're $99 tint shops. That's okay. Now, if they're a true $99 shop where like every car they do is $99, then I'd probably skip that shop, just because you're not going to be able to produce enough work for them to be able to get a return that you need. So, but if a shop says they're $99 or a $99 special, don't write them off right off the bat or right away, because sometimes it's just a tactic, a marketing tactic to get people into the shop. Maybe $99 special. What is that? Oh, we're running a special for 2 front windows for $99. Or maybe it's the slow season, and maybe they're taking their 130 film or their 150 film, and they're doing for a limited time they're doing a $99 just for that, just like their entry level stuff. But they're hoping to upsell up into their standard line or their high performance or ceramic lines or whatever they have. A lot of the times the $99 phrase is just to get people through the door. That's half the battle. But you want to find a shop like that. Also, you want to find a shop that has a decent average ticket rate. So I would say a decent average ticket would be anywhere between $150 and $200 per car. This is for a four-door sedan. Obviously, SUVs will be a little bit more, and like two-door sedans or something like that would be a little bit less. So we're working on the averages here. So you know what you need to do. You know where to find a shop. Now, if you think you found a shop, now we're going to talk about how to negotiate for your payment. Okay, so how do you sit down and look someone in the face and say, hey, I want 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand, and so forth. If you just throw that number out, though, what could happen is that some people, like, they just think you're nuts because, number one, there's not a lot of reliable tenders out there. Number two, you have no reason, you have no backing. So why should you get that money? How? So I'm going to explain to it. So let's just say, I'm going to have my phone here. Let's just say that the average ticket is $200 at a shop, the shop that you're looking for. Okay, $200. Now, if you're doing a 2-hour turnaround in an 8-hour day, that is 4 cars. Now, granted, you might have to show up a little bit early so you can get like a luncheon or something like that, but that's 4. You know, realistically, once you start getting better and once you start working at a shop, your time will go down to probably an hour and a half, probably less. My average time with a plotter is about an hour and 15 minutes, but I do a lot of extra stuff that makes it like an hour and a half. You know, I wipe down all the windows, spotless with window cleaner. I put stickers, instruction sheets, floor mats for the front area. It looks primo afterwards. So let's just say 4 hours, okay? So you can do, not 4 hours, I'm sorry, 4 cars a day. So on the average ticket is $200, and you're doing 4 cars a day. That's, I don't know if you can see that, that's $800 that you're making for the shop. All right, so, and let's say in a given week, typically as a tinter, you're gonna work 6 days a week. Most of the time, you're going to be off on Sundays. You're maybe Mondays. Some shops close on Mondays, but you're going to be working Friday, Saturday for sure. If that's a problem for you, then this isn't the industry for you, because you have to make your money when people are off work, and most people are off work on Saturdays. Or people try to take off maybe a half a day on Friday to get in and get their stuff done and have like an extended weekend or something like that. So you're going to be working Friday, Saturday, and if you don't like that, don't be a tinter. Okay? Let's see here. So 4 cars a day, $200 is the average ticket. You're going to make $800 for the shop. Multiply that by 6 days a week, because most likely that's what you're going to be working. It's $4,800. Okay, so let's just say on average, and you're going to be working 52 weeks a year. So as of right now, you're going to be producing, if you're doing 4 cars a day, and if you're working 6 days a week, 52 weeks a year, you're going to be making that shop $249,600, close to $250,000. So that's how you figure it out. That's how much you're worth. So maybe the ticket price is $210, $215. Maybe the ticket price is $150, and obviously the average is going to be lower. So, and that is working at your maximum capacity. So realistically, you're going to be maybe at 80%. So let's just say 80%. So you take that number, multiply it by 80. Now you're right at $200,000 that you're making. Now this is going to offset maybe when you're not full and you're not working all day every day. Maybe it's the slow season. So take off 20% off the top. That way you kind of make it fair for the shop. So now you're at $199 and change. So let's just call it $200,000. Okay. So what you want to do at this point is, what is a good amount to get off of that? Some people like to do commission, some people like to do salary, some people like a commission draw type thing. And I think that might be the best way. I don't like commission. And the reason being is that you have to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Financially savvy, I guess you could say. You have to be able to save your nuts for the winter, essentially. Because if not, during the summertime, you're going to crush it. You're going to make some good money. But during the wintertime, it will go down. I've been at a shop that was established for 10 years, and literally, like November and December, we were dead. Like one car a day. And if you're doing one car a day, two roll ups at $100, and you get a percentage of that, let's say it's just 33%, you can't live off of $33 a day. So what I always go for the salary, and I always go for what's the percentage? What kind of percentage should you get? And my thing is you should be at 33%, no more, no less. If a shop is offering you 40%, it's kind of a red flag for me. Why are they offering so much? Probably because they're dead on the slow season. So 33% is a really good area to be at. A third for you, a third for the owner, because they put in the investment, they put in the risk to open the business, and then a third for the business itself, because it costs money to be able to run a shop. There's overhead and there's other things. You gotta spend money to make money. That's how it goes. So the time, the electricity you're using, the film cost you're using, and other different things like that are gonna add up. So a third, a third, a third. You, the owner, the business. And then let's see here. And if you could, I mean, a commission draw would work, like maybe a minimum amount, and then like if you break that minimum amount, let's say 33% at like $1,000 a week or something like that. But like let's say you crush it and make a lot more than that, and 33% of like, I don't know, 5,000. No, let's say 7,000. Is $2,300. Maybe that's a crushing week. So maybe you negotiate for that, but I think that might be the best. That may or may not happen. I'll be honest with you. But let's see what you need. I've gone over that. So again, what you need is you need to be able to tint a car in 2 hours, and you need to have a good attitude, and you need to show up, and you need to do your work. A shop to look for, you need to find a professional shop, someone that can definitely that looks appealing to the eye, and someone that charges the right prices. You got to find and ask questions, and you can tweak your numbers a little bit, how much you're worth throughout the year. If let's say ask them when their slow season is, ask them what the average ticket is. What's the average range? They'll know. Just ask them. And that's pretty much it. And then just kind of tweak your numbers and just multiply it by 33%. I think that's going to be a good one. Now, if you're at a crazy shop that basically like pushes ceramic like nuts, and your numbers like 95,000, 90,000, I haven't done that. I've gone to one shop one time, and I did the math and did everything, did my formula, and it came out to $95,000. So I told him with a straight face, before I hadn't even met the guy. I was emailing him, and I said, yeah, I can do this 6 days a week. Let's do it. I want, and I said I'll do it for 90,000. And I never heard back from him, and never emailed him again, or he never emailed me again. So the takeaway on that is that when you're talking and negotiating big numbers like this, anything north of $60,000, you have to be face to face. It's just how it works. I guess you can, if they're really in a pinch and they need a tinner, then I guess you can throw out a ballpark number. But if they ask you how much you want, just say it's open for negotiation, and then get in there, talk to them, let them. It's like sales. They have to get to know you, they have to like you, they have to believe you, they have to see your work, and then talk the numbers at the end. Show them the good game, and then talk the numbers at the end. Let me see here. My favorite pace, like I said, is when I get negotiated for pay, that I want a set amount per week. It's either 1 week or two or whatever they pay. Maybe they pay bi-weekly every 2 weeks or whatever, but the same pay every single week. throughout the summer, throughout the winter, it doesn't matter, year round. And then remember when you started it so that you can you can renegotiate when the year is up, and then you can evaluate it. Keep track of your work. Did you crush it for them? Did you do a little bit less than what you thought? And negotiate. You can have a little negotiating power. Plus, you build some trust with the shop when after that time frame. Let me see here. I wouldn't negotiate vacation time, and I'll go over vacation time and how to get vacation time in an industry like this. But I would negotiate sick days, and not a lot. I would probably say maybe 4 to 6, and that could be used for anything in just one full day. So maybe use a half a sick day, maybe because you're going to miss a half a day of work. Maybe you have the flu, or maybe your kids are sick and need to go see a doctor. I think that's mostly important. Asking for paid vacation, I don't think is not gonna work out very well for you. But sick days, I definitely think that's reasonable, just because people get sick. I don't get sick very often. I'll knock on wood. But if I do get sick, at least I know I'm covered. Vacation. The only thing is that you gotta figure out what your take home is per day, and then from there, let's just say you're taking home $150 a day after taxes. Let's just say, ballpark it, 150 a day. Well, basically, just to get paid vacation is that you save 150 bucks and you put it on the side. And then now you have 1 day of vacation. Then you save another 150, put it to the side. Now you have 2 days vacation. That's basically how it works. I don't know of any other shops that'll pay you for your vacation time. And basically that's what you do when you own a shop. So that's pretty much it, really, to be honest. Let's see here. Yeah, I think if you can put all these into effect. That's my son. He's slamming on the door trying to get in here. If you can put these in, what you need to find in a shop, and how to negotiate a good price for your services, I think this is definitely something you can do for sure. I know plenty of shops that will get started at $1,000 each. Now, when you start getting into the $60,000 range, $75,000 range, you're gonna find less and less shops. Not saying that there aren't many out there, but fewer percentages will give you the 75, 70, 75, $80,000 range. And if you want more than $80,000 or 85, unless you find like that one awesome shop that like just loves you and you produce for them and they sell cars, sell tint like crazy, at that point, I think you're going to be capped at about $80,000, 80, 85 maybe. If you want to make more money than that per year, then at that time, I'd suggest you probably open up your own shop, whether mobile or a brick and mortar place. But by the time you're requesting that kind of money, you've worked at a shop a few years, you know how to work on every single car, the best tactics, how to sell and manage your shop. And from there, the natural next step is to is just basically open up your own shop, because you're not going to make any more than 85, I don't think. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's very, very unlikely. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this live stream. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to some Q&A. I do want to let you know that I will be doing a special vlog this week, because I'm going to be traveling over to West Palm Beach, Florida on Tuesday night at the International Window Film Conference and Tint Off. So if you're going to be at the Tint Off and you see me, come say hey, say hi. And it's going to be a good time, I think. And I'm going to be competing at the Tint Off as well. And so I'm just going to be going over about the event. I've never been to the event. I've never competed either. So that's what I'm going to be filming, the different things and stuff. Just like maybe if you're interested in going next year, I'll go ahead and put that up just to see if you're interested. So at this time, let's see. Hey. If anyone had any questions, you can shoot out some questions at this time. And if you guys are done watching, then you guys can go ahead and leave. If you're here for the rebroadcast, I'm working on doing this every Sunday, mid-afternoon, just so I can get some people some time so they can be free and be able to watch. But I started this, and then Irma came on and other things, so I'm trying to work my best on making it happen. But yeah, and Actually, I got some other things I got to line up for. But that's pretty much it. Now, if you guys like this and you thought it was helpful, make sure to, or if you've done this stuff before, or you've gotten a shop and you have other tips and tricks, stuff that you can help other people with, make sure to comment below. And if you thought this was beneficial, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. And any tips on how to crush dirt specks? I wouldn't crush dirt specks. I mean, I don't. Maybe you're not actually asking, but I would say clean. Keep it clean. Your cleaning process. I did put up a new video just recently about about a cleaning process. I think it's one of my like 1 or 2 videos ago. Just how to clean either top load or bottom load. And just make sure your cleaning process is really good. Make sure you're using clean towels. Make sure your tools are clean. I use 2 different squeegees, a cleaning squeegee and an install squeegee, and use clean water. I mean, that's pretty much it. Check the video out. I'll try to see if I can link it up here. But check the video out, and it should help you. Should is the word. Tips on tinting outside with windy conditions. Prepping tips. Oh, okay. So I just did this today. So this is kind of like the perfect question from Jay Wise. What's up, Jay Wise? Thanks for watching. So what do you do when you get to a gig and it's outside? Most of the time, I tell people you need an enclosed area with power. Okay, not a carport, not a tent. None of that. It needs to be the garage, a barn, a warehouse. I don't care what it is, as long as it's enclosed and it's got power. Because it is very, very difficult to work outside. I just did a gig today, and I was working for a company doing a fleet of trucks. I was there since 8 this morning, and I just finished at like 5 this afternoon. And I asked them prior. I said, "Hey, do you guys have a shop? You know, a place that I can do some work in?" Maybe they didn't hear me say do work, because I show up there. Yes, they have a warehouse area, but it's full of their inventory, and I could not get a truck in there. But at that time, it's too little, too late. So my suggestion is in windy conditions. Now, if it's a small breeze, it's hard enough to work with. Windy, I wouldn't even try it. Just because I would reschedule for another day. Just because anything above a light breeze will ruin your day. Even a light breeze will make it very, very difficult. And you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to get trash and wind and dirt in your film, and the film will just fly all over the place, and it'll crease. It's very, very frustrating. I did 5 trucks today outside, and a front windshield, glare strips, like the whole 9, and like about halfway through I was about done with it. But it was a good gig. It was a good paying gig. So that's why, I just kept on going. Sometimes you have to do it. Hopefully it's just on 1 or 2 cars. Use water. What I did is that these trucks I positioned it so like wherever the wind was coming from, like let's say the wind was coming towards my face, I would face the window that I was working at. How do I say it? With the back to the wind. So like I was facing the truck window, working on the window, and the wind was coming from this way. That way I can try kind of block it, and it worked for me. Maybe I didn't want to go the other way where like the wind is coming from my back, just because like dirt specks, maybe a hair from my head could go into the film when I'm cleaning, and that's something I didn't want to do. Let me think as well. Keep your trims tight. So like if you're working on the front window and it curves down, you want to nick that corner real quick. That way it doesn't because that corner can catch wind. And just keep it tight and take your time and make sure it stays clean. Windy conditions, anything else on windy conditions. Water will help tack down the film. Obviously you want to use a lot of water to spray it down. Kind of pick and choose your times. If it's super windy, I'd wait until the breeze dies down a little bit before you like peel the liner and get the film wet. And just at all costs, just avoid it, to be honest, because unless you're really good, and I'm not saying I'm really good, like I said, always 97%, you're never going to get 100%. But it just becomes a pain in the butt. It really does. And if it wasn't such a good paying gig with 5 different trucks to do today, I probably would have told them to reschedule until we can find another place to work. How about distilled water for slip solution? I'm thinking the water in our shop is why I get more contamination under my film, from Ryan Flores. Distilled water for slip solution. The shop that I work at right now in Lutz, excuse me, is they use bottled water actually. So like once a week, oops, tearing my pants here. Once a week, I'll go to Walmart and I'll get purified distilled water from like the machine. We have those big 5 gallon jugs, and I just fill 3 or 4 of them up. They say it's because the water that they have has minor like minerals or contamination within it. I'm not sure. I've never used that type of water, but yeah, I mean, I use bottled water every single day since I started at the shop in March. So distilled water could help. Let's see here. That's why I get more contamination under my film. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but the minerals and small things, it might, but there should be a filter on your spray bottle should be a filter, or if you use the junior pump, I have a little filter on the very bottom. Some people will use pantyhose and throw pantyhose underneath like the portion that goes into the bottle. I've seen people do that. Just probably once a week you want to clean out your bottles and clean out your tools and like wipe everything down. If like you have like a bucket or like a little tray that you put all your tools in, and you look in there and the tray has dirt and a little bit of dried water and other little things, that probably isn't the best for it. So you want to try to, you want to be as clean as you can with everything. Make sure your towels are clean. I use one towel per car, and then if that window is super dirty or the car is super dirty, I'll use another one and another one and another one. Also, I wish I had a towel here. I don't. But I'll use one side of the towel for the outside of the car if I'm wiping down the outside of the car, and I'll use the other side of the towel for the inside, and I'll remember which one I'm using. And that kind of helps keep it clean, unless you want to go with like the two towel method, I guess you could say that. But I don't think distilled water would be a problem. I don't think I might help. Try it. Let's see here. JY also, when I shrink rear glass, I somehow always manage to overshrink the edges all the time, and it curls up a bit. Frustrating. Yes. Yes. JY's. Is it over at the bottom, like in this middle section, or are you talking about like the quarters, like in the corners? Comment below and let me know what you're talking about there. But when you dry shrink a wing glass, I always manage to overshrink the edges. Okay, so to help avoid that, I don't know what type of method or style that you're using for shrinking your back windows or shrinking windows in general. Like on the sides, you pretty much always wet shrink. I don't know anyone that dry shrinks the side window. Yes, bottom edges and top. Okay. I don't know. Okay, last question, J-Wise. Do you use a plotter or do you hand cut? Comment below, let me know again. But whatever method you're using, I would probably go with a dry shrink method, hand cut, copy. Okay, so do you, I guess not one last question. One other question, do you wet shrink or dry shrink? That's the last thing I'm going to ask you. And then I'll go on and answer your question, sorry. Let's see here, dry, beautiful. Okay, so what could be done? What could be done now? If it's on every single car at the very bottom, I would either, if it's like that every single time, then I would probably back the heat gun up a little bit and take your time, slow it down a little bit. Make sure you get if you're dry shrinking, you're already doing a better job than wet shrinking. I don't like wet shrinking. I feel like it's too aggressive. But dry shrinking, what I would do, I would set my H pattern, and then I would work in quadrants, right? So sometimes some people like to work the whole bottom, some people like to work one side, then the other. It really doesn't matter. I guess it's preference. But what I would do is I would start from the top, and then I would start going down very slowly down to the bottom, and don't rush it, don't push it down. Wait for the film, to get wiggly, where the fingers are here, and they're going to start to wiggle, and then that's when you're ready. And probably take the heat gun down. I don't know what kind of heat gun you're using. I use a Wagner heat gun, just a standard Wagner. I don't have like the digital stuff, and I always go on high. Make sure you're consistent in your heat temperature or your heat gun. You know, if you're always using, keep it on high or medium or pick one setting. That way you know that it's gonna react the same every single time. Let me think if there's anything else. Maybe leave a little bit extra if you are heat creasing or curling the ends. Maybe make it a little bit longer than what you need. Obviously, it's still got to be within the glass, but if you're like an inch or two out of the dot matrix, that's fine too. And then that way you do a rough cut at first and keep it like an inch or two out, and then shrink it. And that way you have some. If you like burn like the bottom inch, then it doesn't matter because you're gonna cut that off anyways. And just take some time. Opa, take your time here. Okay, Brian Johnson. When picking up film, is it that much better to not touch the film even if spraying off fingertips? Some people are super, super aggressive about it. I touch my film all the time. I'll just say it. I'll peel it and I'll touch maybe like the top corner. But I do a light touch. I mean, now if I'm holding on, squeezing, and I let go, my fingers are stuck to it, you're going to get an imprint within the adhesive. And then maybe the oils from your finger may, that little area might release. I don't know. But I do touch I touch my film a little bit. Now, do I put a big fat hand in the middle of the film? No. If anything, it'll be on the edges, on the corners. Like if it's like a side window, maybe the sides and the back, it doesn't matter. The eighth is going to be tucked to the sides anyways. So as long as I'm not touching too far in or too aggressive, you shouldn't have a problem with that. Let's see. I'm using Global Film. Global's a solid brand, I hear. I mean, I've told people all the time, J-Wise, that I like Lumar. Lumar's a solid product. Um, but I'm starting to learn a lot more about a lot of different films. And I know a lot of guys that use Global. They say that they feel that like maybe Lumar might be a little bit too pricey, or maybe 3M might be a little bit too pricey, and they wanted to find a suitable comparison that's maybe a little more easier on the pocket. And Global I think is right up the alley right there. So, but I am looking into other window film manufacturers because it's just easy to say, yeah, I want 3M or I want Lumar. That's like someone saying, yeah, I like baseball. Who do you like? The Yankees. It's easy to like the Yankees because they're the best. You know, I'm a huge Dodger fan and I hate the Yankees, but it's easy to say that. But I'm trying to figure out and experiment with different manufacturers and kind of see what they bring to the table for dealers. And that's kind of in the works right now. Reno is a new brand. I think it's been out like 3 or 4 years. I did a front windshield on using their Platinum 70. I thought it was really good. I got some new stuff in from Express Window Films. I've heard really great things about Flex Film. There's a lot of good brands out there. I would, do your research and get sample rolls and see how it feels and see if the price is right. Let's see. Reverse roll or Frankenstein? Brian Johnson. I don't know why. I asked the question first and then I see who it is. Robert, hey bro, what's up? Reverse roll or Frankenstein? 90% of the time, I'm gonna Frankenstein. 90%. If I'm in a small coupe, like a Mustang coupe, and I'm a big guy. I'm like 180 pounds. I'm like almost 6 foot. I'm not. I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I don't know. But I can't get into some of these back windows, and if that's the case, then I will reverse roll. But my go-to is Frankenstein. Let's see other questions. Let's see here. Do you like the NBA? Actually, no, I don't watch the NBA. I grew up in LA, so I know. I mean, I like the Lakers, I guess, but I don't know. I made a lot of money betting on them a long time ago, but besides that, that was kind of it. I don't really enjoy basketball personally. Let's see here. Let's see. Vladimir. asked, is there any big difference on software you've been using on your experience? Using one from Matico and sometimes driving me crazy. Is there all softs running problems? Okay, so software, I've only used Film Design and Precision Cut. Film Design was good, Precision Cut's good. All software, I mean, they're not all gonna be perfect. There are gonna be some cuts. There are some people out there that like, if it's like an eighth of an inch here and a 16th of an inch, like they're like, I hate it, I don't even wanna use it. I don't, I if it's within an eighth of an inch, then it is what it is. It's making it faster. The cuts are cleaner. Um, but the software, I mean, that's the point of the software. The software is there so that you can use your plotter and you can be faster and you're boosting up your productivity in your production. But I use Film Design, and when I was using it all the time, I liked it. I thought the cuts were clean and close. I use Precision Cut now. I think the same thing. Some cars are better than others, but that is the way of the world. I think you're going to have pros and cons with any software that you use. What are your favorite tools? Robert, what are my favorite tools? My go-to tools, my everyday tools. I love using a Blue Max squeegee. I love my Fusion 5 handle, short or long. I've actually got a long for some reason. I think it was ordered wrong. And I like spin it in my hand and whatnot. But always a Blue Max. I tried a Clear Max. I used to do Clear Max, then Blue Max for like my back windows, but I just went straight to Blue Max. I love my Stroke Doctor, not my Stroke Doctor, Side Swipe. I like my Side Swipe. I use that as my squeegee. I used to use like I'd get bars of yellow turbos and cut my own custom squeegees, but I just like the Side Swipe. It's like 6 inches and it cleans super quickly, and that's pretty much it. I like using my Mac Tack to shrink the back windows. I love that. I just started that just recently, and it's awesome. I always shrink with a glove. Some people like that, some people don't. I don't care. And then I use blue Bondo cards. I cut them diagonally, and I use those for the inside. But there's a card slitter, and I don't have it. They're in my tool pouch. But before I even use that on the inside, after I've installed, I'll slice the edge off so I have a clean, fresh edge. Because if it's a little marred, it could scratch the film. So that's it. How bad were you when you first started tinting, Ryan? I was bad, just like everyone else. First car I ever tinted was 2014 Kia Rio. It was my old lady's car, and it took me 6.5 hours just for the sides and the back. And it's not a difficult car. I retinted it a little bit ago, and it took me like an hour and a half. So it's like anything else. You start off bad, but if you keep working at it, you're gonna get better and better, and in like get yourself into the industry. Some people just work and they like kind of do it. If it's like a hobby, then it's whatever. But if it's gonna be your life's work, like tinting is my life's work. It's gonna be. I know for a fact for the rest of my life I'm gonna tint, unless for some reason like my hands get cut off or something. I'm gonna be tinting. So I like have this YouTube channel, and I'm a groups and forums online, and I talk to a bunch of people. I'm going to the conference. Like this is my life. So you're gonna get better. It might be frustrating at first. It's really frustrating at first. But you're going to turn the corner, and then one day you're going to be tinting, and you'll be like, wow, I'm starting to get really good at this. Awesome. And now you have a career, and an awesome career at that. So let's see. Let's see. What Castillo, Adelina Castillo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. What type of film did you get from Express? How do you like it so far? I haven't got. I did get a couple rolls in the mail from Express Window Films. I haven't tried it out just yet. I'm actually working on a new video series where I'm going to be sampling different brands and telling you basically what I think about it, some pros and cons, maybe some price breakdown. But I mean, off the top of my head, from what I know, is that Express Window Films, they're pretty solid. They're like the largest like privately distribution in the country. I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and they're licensed or authorized to sell. I think global within 25 states. And if you're within that 25 states, if you can't use it, I think they can give you something comparable. So I think they're pretty good. I'm going to be looking into their film and seeing what I think really. So that keep out for that. Let's see. Let's see. In your last video, you've been popping panels. How's the quality versus the two-step method? So for like the first few years that I was tinting, I only did top load, and now I basically only do bottom load. And it's not about whether it's going to be good or bad or which one do I prefer or how am I going to take this panel off. I know if I top load, I'm going to have to cut it. I know I'm going to have to shrink it on the outside. And then I'm going to have to install it. And sometimes I get those little crimps on the corners. I try not to, but it happens. And then I'm going to have to get a heat gun and work. Basically, I'm trying to figure out which way is faster. If it takes me a long time, like Chevy Silverados, I don't pop the panels on those. Just because they're a pain in the butt to put back in. And I know that I've done it before, and it takes longer for me to do it that way, so I just top load. So it's not which one is happier for me. I choose whichever one is faster for me. I know that I can cut, shrink, and install a window in like 9 minutes or so. But if I can pop a panel, when I pop panels, I don't have to shrink windows. Like the only car even on the sides, the only car that does need shrinking if I'm body loading was like a Toyota Camry, I think it is, or Honda Accord. It's a Honda Accord. And for some reason, it gets a little bit of a finger, but if you soft squeegee it, then you can take some heat after it's installed, and that finger will come down. But 95% of the time, I don't have to shrink if I'm bottom loading, so that takes a step out. Plus, I don't have to wipe down the window at the end as well. So whichever one is quicker. Yeah, Daniel, you're right. Develop good habits in cleaning, cutting, installation. Everything was slow at first, everything. But with patience and with time, it's going to get faster and faster, I promise you. Yeah, with popping panels too, that's why I started the panel popping series, is because the only reason why I didn't pop panels before was because no one showed me how to do it. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't pop panels. Because if you break something and you don't know, if you don't know what you're doing and you break something, you're gonna have to pay for it. So make sure you know what you're doing if you're popping panels. And if you don't know how to pop panels, check out some of my videos. I'll see if I can link it up in the description above here. Check out some of my popping panel videos, panel popping videos. Let's see. Okay, Damivan Santos. Here in Massachusetts, the government only allows 35% tint. This is hurting my business. Or what would you recommend to address the issue? Okay, so when I lived in Alabama, the legal limit was 35%. The law is the law, and that's it. So I don't know if you're having issues selling film. Maybe I don't know. I worked at a shop that was established for 10 years. 35% was was an option to use. You always want to keep three options. Maybe like not talking about brands, or not brands, but like styles. Like so for Lumar, let's say this. I know ATC is like an entry level. ATR is like your metallized dyed film, and your CTX and Pinnacle is your ceramic film. So there's your lines, right? But within each line, you need to have shades of each one. So you want to keep the legal limit, and then you want to be able to match factory tint, and then you want to just keep 5%. So in Alabama, we had 35%, and then we had 20, and then we had 5. Here in Florida, the legal limit is 30 in the front, so we do 30, and then the legal limit's 15 in the back end, so you can go down a little bit darker there. So I would keep 3 different shades within each line, and I don't know. I don't exactly know how. Let me see here. Elaborate on your question if because I don't know exactly how it's hurting you. Maybe you're not marketing enough. Maybe you're not. Your installs aren't as great. I don't know. So respond some more and let me know exactly what's hurting your business. My computer's trying to shut down. Okay. No. Hold on. What's the best website for tinting tools? Uh, yeah, 44 Tools is the main place that I go. I heard that they hiked their shipping rates on that. What I would suggest is either go with most manufacturers will sell tools. Also, they'll have a tool catalog, and they're more than happy to sell those to you as well. 44 Tools only sells. I mean, for the best of my knowledge, they only sell tools, so they gotta make money somehow. So my best bet, if you're gonna use 44 Tools, I think it's $150. Before it was like 100. Wait until make a list and keep an itemized amount, and then until you break that 150, and then order your tools. That way, the shipping's free. Okay, Daniel, make lots of money offering ceramic film. Give demo with special infrared red lamp box. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, J-Wise, you want to see me tint a Volkswagen Beetle? They're a huge pain in the butt. Huge. I don't like them. It takes me a long time to do them. I'm not gonna lie. There's some cars I can't do, and some cars I can. There's only like two or three cars I really can't do, to be honest. But let's see, a couple more questions here, then I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off because, like, wow, we've been going on for like 50 minutes so far, almost an hour. I really appreciate you guys. By the way, if you're catching up on the rebroadcast, make sure to check us out next Sunday, I believe. Yeah, I should be back in town next Sunday for another edition. Um, have you used GeoShield film, Jeff? No, I have not, but I'll get contact with them and see what I can use. Is it necessary to double shrink? No, most of my side windows I don't even shrink. So, is it necessary to double shrink? No. I mean, you could just shrink one time, and that's what I did. I don't think I ever double shrink, unless it's like the finger like just won't lay down it for some reason. Then I guess you could, but no, it's not necessary to double shrink. Let me see. Brian Johnson. I currently use Lumar at a dealership. If I wanted to start hand cutting in my own garage to get away from the plotter and be a real tinner, what film would you go for that is priced good and also have? I'm a real tinner and I use a plotter. So, and I prefer a plotter over hand cutting. It's just a production thing for me. It's I can crank out more cars with a plotter than hand cutting. So, and some people are different. Some people can crank out more with hand cutting, but that's just my opinion. But let's see here. I started off with Max Pro. I didn't really particularly like that, so I went to Johnson after that. That was at like 67 cents a square foot, and it worked well. I would choose that if you can't afford Lumar. That's Johnson's is a good one. I've never checked out the price points on Global, but I hear really good things too. So check them out. Do I charge more money for a Beetle? Yes, I do charge more money for a Beetle. It's about time. A typical time frame is going to be a turnaround time is going to be an hour and a half. If I know it's going to take me 2 hours or 3 hours, I charge accordingly. I know how much I'm going to make per hour. So, like, let's say a regular car takes me an hour and a half, and this car is going to take me 3 hours. I'll probably charge them double because it's just time is money. Uh, Brian Johnson. Thanks for subscribing and watching. And we're working on it. Like, I'm trying to get my software going and get these live streams a little bit better. Like I said, I'm all going off my phone, but I did pick up a new cardioid microphone and a pop filter and a mic stand and such. I still got to get a couple other things like a webcam because I'm using my phone, a phone right now, and an audio interface. So if you guys want to super chat, then feel free. Feel free. Let me think if there's anything else. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because it's time to spend some time with the family. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Keep up the good work. If you guys have any questions, make sure to contact me. If you're not a part of the group on Facebook, go ahead and check us out there as well. It's Window Tinting Business. Just search it. We're about, I think, 800 members, 900 members or so. So we're growing. We're growing, and the community is really really active lately, just because there's been a lot more add-ons, and I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to wrap it up. And next time you see me, I'll probably be in West Palm Beach. I might come in and out for a live stream from time to time there as well. So hopefully, maybe, I don't know, this time next week, I'll place something in the competition. Hopefully I'll do well. But thanks again, and I'll talk to y'all soon.